Hello and welcome back to the Beaglington Review, and this time I'll be looking at this, which by now you've probably guessed, right, instantly recognisable brown box. It's another product from Sam's Trains. So this is actually some more Era 1 rolling stock to have a look at. So I'll take it over to the desk and we can start opening up and see. Yes, hello everyone, Alex here. Welcome back to the Beaglington Review, and welcome back to another Sam's Trains 3D printed unboxing. So I've got it well packed as usual with the packing peanuts. We've got our detail packs here, so I'll look at those in a minute. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 things there, and we have lots of packing peanuts for the kids to go mad over. Right, pop that down out the way. So, yes, this episode is about more Era 1 rolling stock. And obviously, I have some of these double coal wagons. And he did do a set before. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera with my leg. I'll just move the tripod a bit. Oh, there you go. Yes, so he did these double bucket sort of coal wagons before. As a converter wagon, and so they are, I think they're quite nice. I still haven't got round to painting them because I'm just, lazy and busy making videos. So I'll pop those out of the way and we'll have a look. So the detail packs that I have are for 2 different types. So this is just the normal one, and this is the one with the barrels in. So there's some resin printed barrels in this, I believe. And then I have 2 of those and 2 of those because I've got 2 of each kind. So I'm going to pick one at random and see what it is. Now, this appears to be a livestock wagon. And basically Sam wasn't very happy with the offering from Hornby with their relatively unrealistic looking livestock wagons with dead livestock inside, as he described. So here we have, and I'll get a good focus on this now, a 3D printed Era 1 livestock wagon based on presumably similar pictures to what Hornby would have used, because obviously we have no real evidence of what they were like. It's short, as it probably would have been more realistic to be. It's short like the other wagons as well. And it has its own chassis, and there's this sort of the wooden bit there with the planking detail. And sorry, I'm not prepared any notes for this because I literally did not know what to expect. The coupling arrangement, these are looking like revised versions of the couplings. Yeah, they're ever so slightly thicker. If I just get a focus on that. So we go there and there. You can see that the new wagon has a slightly thicker coupling than this one. It might just be the way that it's printed, but it looks thicker to me. So I'm just going to pop that the coal loads out of the way from that wagon while everything is out of focus. Just put those back in there. So the first wagon here, as I said, is a livestock wagon. And so I'll have to dig out some livestock to put in it. I think I have some sheep somewhere I was going to use on Project Alban, so I'll pop some in there and we can see how it looks. It's open-topped, so you're not going to have to faff about trying to open it to put the livestock in. It's small, it's pretty, I think, and it'll need painting, I'd say. I mean, I don't necessarily want to take it apart, and the cast iron railings probably would still be black because you wouldn't be putting any effort in to make them painted, I suppose, back when these were first made as a utilitarian wagon that just needed to do a job. But the brown is going to be very similar to the brown of the other wagon, which I also plan on painting differently. So that might pick out, there's a detailing of what looks like rivets or something on the side here. And I'll show you the rivet detail on there as well. See, just along here, there are rivets, and they might turn out better with a little bit of paint. As you see, there's a little bit of sort of plastic flashing there from the 3D printing process. But the metal rods going across with the rivets are very cool. It's just simple and fun. And you have to remember that these kinds of, these Sam's Trains products are not like professional models. They're homemade, ready to run wagons that if you had a 3D printer at home and you had the design thing, you could make this yourself. So if you were modeling Era 1, you could actually produce your own range of rolling stock looking at drawings, like Hornby have done, and like Sam's Trains is doing. And that would open up a whole world of things that you could model. And you could also use a resin printer as well if you wanted. They are expensive, but if you think about it in a way, if you live somewhere where you have a model railway club or a lot of people with a model railway and you bought a 3D printer, you could print anything that anyone wanted, basically, as long as you had the CAD work for it and the plastic, whatever, to put in and see how it goes. So you could actually kind of bring people together. You could charge them a small fee, but you know, you might only need to charge them for the electricity and the plastic because you're just kind of helping each other out. But the point is that there are things that aren't available that you could make available to a wider bunch of people by sharing in that. So I suppose I should get on and properly review this now. It's screwed onto this custom-made chassis. It's got lovely metal wheels that look the part, and they're very free to move. Sorry, Smuppers is knocking down stuff. I just locked the focus. Smuppers is knocking down stuff on the railway. Yeah, we'll get to running stuff in a minute. So yes, those move very freely, and I expect if I do a rolling test on this, it's going to roll right round the railway, because most of the Sam's Train stuff I've had has been incredibly free rolling. And so you get the detail pack with this. You get the couplings, which are like a sort of chain, and those hoops go over the couplings there, the beam, and then they can be hooked onto the next wagon. And then if you're using something that has tension locks, you can, for instance, you can couple these two together with the chain and then use the tension lock to couple to your Era 1 locomotive if you have one that isn't using the chains, if that makes sense. So you can, these are Sam's Train's NEM pockets, or his version of NEM pockets that work with these. So that's the Livestock Wagon, and I think it looks fantastic. And like I said, I do plan on doing some painting up. I might even paint the green, because in the pictures, like Hornby were using, they've got, you know, colours and things of the wooden bits or whatever. So that could be an interesting thing. I could add some variation, make things look different. Something for Alex at the desk to do over the winter, I think. As you can see, they've got the same kind of wheels here as the thing, so it's all kind of in keeping. It's a very sort of almost like a standardized range of products, which is quite cool. And I imagine there will be more runs of wagons in future if there's demand there for them. So that's the Livestock Wagon. Like I said, it'll look better when I've got a sheep in it. So I have two of these, and it was packed with a packing peanut inside it to keep it from being crushed in the post. So that's a very good thing. Sam's Trains always seems to pack his stuff very well. And this, I think, might be the Flatbed Wagon. Now this is something that I've been really interested in, because the Hornby flatbeds are just the coach chassis with like planking on the top or whatever, but this is a custom designed thing. And I'm sorry about the focus, but it's difficult because I keep moving here and there, but there's so many small details on it that I'm gonna have to keep adjusting it to bring it to the right place. There we go. So you can see there's rivet detail, the same. It's a similar sort of planking to the other wagon. So, you know, you're reusing common components, I suppose, like the Hornby range. You've got that chassis again and the same style of wheels. And if you did want to make your own body for this short chassis, you could technically unscrew and measure it and design your own and 3D print it for this chassis. So that's a really neat little flatbed, and I think that's going to be really fun because obviously I have my brewery, so these came with 3D printed, well, resin printed barrels, I believe, and there's obviously there's also warnings on these, which you can see here. I'm not going to read it because I've read it before, and if you are below the age of 14, I have to advise you not to try and swallow these, because it does say not suitable for children under 14 years because of small parts which can present a choking hazard. So if you're under the age of 14, please don't try and eat these barrels. And when you get a bit older, you'll enjoy drinking the contents of them probably. So we've got 4 barrels in the pack, and I will refocus it once I place them on the thing. One of them's upside down actually, and I have to compare with them. And just move the camera to there. There we go. Oh, they look so good. The detailing actually is brilliant. Like, I think they're resin printed. I don't think they're plastic printed. I think they were. He said they were resin. But I've got here some Pico ones, plastic ones, and the level of detail on the Sam's Trains ones by comparison. Like, look at that. But the door's open. But like, seriously, like, I mean, if I painted that up brown and if I had a fine enough brush to paint the bands black on it, like, that is an immaculately, brilliantly designed barrel. Like, and to do that and to print it at home, like, and there must be so many talented people out there that could do that sort of thing. They could even start their own kind of businesses selling these small details or whatever. But look at the difference. Like, I mean, I don't know if I can hold it even closer. Like, look at that. Just amazing. The level of detail that he's managed to get on these barrels, designed by himself. Oop, I'm going out of focus. It's just brilliant. I'll put it back there because I can't get the focus right. So we've got 4 barrels on the wagon, and as you can see, it has the same type of coupling, so they should all couple together, and I will try and couple them all together with the Sam's Trains coupling, and see how they run. So you can glue these down, I imagine. I will probably glue them once they're painted up eventually to little sort of sheets of like acetate. And then I can possibly put a small bit of blue tack on the bottom of that sheet to stick it to the wagon, so it can be taken on and off, but it'll be in the center underneath all the barrels, so you won't see that it's stuck down. So that's what I might do with those. And so I have 8 barrels in total, because there's some there, so I could actually put 8 barrels on one wagon and have one as an empty and one as a full. So that's something that I could do as well. So there you go. That's with this is the increasing range of 3D printed Sam's Trains Era 1 wagons, and I think they're fantastic, really. A novelty, perhaps because they're not as super detailed, but these are fun models for people who just want to have something that looks right at home. Doesn't need to be majorly specific, but still they actually do look quite a lot like some of the drawings that are out there of the rolling stock. So I count myself as an impressionist modeler, so these things work brilliantly for me. And to be honest, there's enough low detailed stuff there in core detailed ranges being sold for more than I paid for these. I can't remember exactly how much I paid for these, but they're normally about sort of £11-12 each. And you can get 5 things shipped all together if you're a member of Sam's Trains and you're buying the members' wagons. You can have them kept for you. So I've got one more each of these to open, which I'll open in a minute. But I'm going to take these over now and see how free rolling they are. So we're now at the layout, and Spookbus has knocked over telegraph pole. Again. Never mind. We'll fix that another time. And it's time to do the free rolling test. Or, as it's now been dubbed, the Beaglington shove. So I'm going to give these a Beaglington shove around the railway and see how well they roll. It's kind of handy with this one because I put my finger on top of it and keep it steady, hopefully. See what I mean about free rolling? And I can roll this one now as well. The Livestock Wagon. Now I didn't roll that one quite as hard because I didn't want to break the thing, but also because I noticed that this sign was knocked down by the cat as well. So we can do that one again. I thought I couldn't read this time. Maybe not. That one. There we go. Obviously that one's got a little bit more weight on the top of it, perhaps from that frame. I'll try that one on the middle line, and I will get the flatbed back for the test as well. So there we go. Oh yeah, there you go. Figured out how to grab it. It's just grabbing it by the side rope. Yeah. They bumped into each other because it was so free rolling. Like, I mean, the smoothness of them, and especially now if you're modelling Era 1, and because they are quite light wagons. If you're modelling Era 1, you want nice light wagons because of the locomotives you're probably going to be using. The question is, how light do you want it? Because obviously I have had problems with the longer wheelbase Hornby Rocket Blue Open Coach, which is too light for its length really and its height, and it constantly derails. So that actually has an N-gauge wagon weight fitted to the bottom of it, which is quite small and could easily have been done. I just put these on there. They roll so nicely. Right, let's go and try some shunting. So before we get shunting, we have to get some couplings sorted. And the handy thing is if you buy multiples of these, you end up with multiple couplings. So they act as spares if you are clumsy enough to break them, because obviously they are a thin plastic part, I believe. I don't know if we've got these in resin yet. But whatever they're made of, they are quite small and thin. But more robust than they used to be by the looks of things. So what you do is you slip the hoop onto the end of the coupling, like so. There's a little nubbin you have to get past. Hopefully this is going to work, because I think it should go down further than that, surely. There, maybe not. Right, and then that hooks onto the next wagon. So it can be a bit of a finicky process, but they are on. But then that one doesn't slip down as far on that, but they are at the same height. So that's that coupled. Should be easier now because I'm going to couple this between two that are the same height, and so it should just drop on. If I can pick it up, pop it on top of that one, and there we go. The question will be whether these bump up and down and come off during the shunting. So you see, that's one pack used, and I've already coupled up 3 wagons. And so I also now have spares of the Sam's Trains tension locks. So if I can get this to focus on there, so my hands don't keep blowing it off. So pop that over the top of that hoop. Put that on top of there. It should work. But we'll see. Try the other way up. That one there. And that one there. Yeah, I'm not sure if that coupling bar is slightly odd, because oh god, that's another problem with Era 1 stuff, is the fiddly couplings. But you see, You don't have to use these. That's the beauty of it. You can use the tension locks if you want to. I don't know. I mean, for easier running in future, I might just fit the tension locks to them, but I do like the look of them with the chains. It just looks very neat. And look how free rolling that is. Just brilliant. I'm not going to put any loads in them yet. I'll wait until I'm running them on the railway. But I'm going to get a locomotive now, and we are going to do some shunting. Let's pop the tension locks, and I will put all of the couplings that I have into the one bag eventually, he says, and keep them safe. So now we need a locomotive to do the shunting, and I think we'll use the new Hornby Ruston 88DS, because that's a nice smooth running locomotive. So I'm not going to attempt to couple this up to these, obviously, because I've left them with the original style coupling. I know that coupling works, and it's the same design, so it's not really a problem. There we go, we're coupled up. We'll give them a drive pass first. No. Yeah, that's going to be an issue. Right, we couple up and try again. It may be that these don't like being projected, which will not be a problem with tension lock couplings. But with these Era 1 style couplings, if you're going to rough, you know, you're going to end up pushing the bar off, I'd say. That's also top speed for the Ruston, because it doesn't go that fast. So that initial coupling problem doesn't seem to have repeated itself. I'm gonna try being really jumpy now. Nope, doesn't seem to be a problem. Right, just got the points right. So that will be something to test with those couplings when I'm running it with the Retro Pug, which is a very jumpy runner. So let's see now if we can shunt it into the siding without any issues. Perfect. And these points are notorious for causing issues, and many things have come off here, but these little Era 1 short wheelbase things seem to go through perfectly. Although I think the Ruston keeps pushing that first one off for some reason, but it still always seems to go back on the track. I think it's the coupling actually is not engaged quite right. But again, that's not these wagons, that's the tension lock there. So that's full speed through the S-bend of those points, and it's working fine. So we'll shunt it down now. How are my points? We can go to the brewery. Just change the points. And perfect. Brilliant. So they do look a little bit shiny now, just in the plastic that they are. But like I said, once it's repainted, and you can paint them however you want in a colour scheme that suits you, or you can leave them as they are. But they're a nice starting point for what could become a very, very cool looking train of Era 1 rolling stock. Yes, well, it's time to see how it runs on the railway in a train behind its intended locomotive, the Retro Pug. And so I have it set up here with the Sam's Trains converter wagons that I got originally at either end, the coal ones. And then I have one flatbed, and it's got the 8 barrels on it, and it just seems to be the right size for those. So I think if I'd had, like I said, a sheet of acetate, I could stick them to it, and then that could be a removable load for that wagon, so I have an empty and a full. They can be interchanged or whatever. But I have put a load on the other flatbed, which is quite fun. And then I filled the 2 livestock wagons with sheep. They all appear to be asleep. At the moment, they are Pico model scene ones. I don't know how well you'll see them through the sides of the wagon as it goes round, but I'm going to try and get some nice footage of this train running. Then there's the other converter wagon at the end, and then an LSWR brake, because it's probably the most vintage looking brake man I have. And it would be cool if we could have some sort of mock rocket coach-esque brake coach. Would be fun. But highly unrealistic, but just be fun. And then I've got on the inside line to run as well as that is just the rostrum with the 2 rocket coaches that I have that are Triumph rocket coaches. There's a blue repainted one and a yellow one, which is dispatch, and then a towed brake band as well, which is blue. So it's blue, yellow, yellow, blue to run with that. And then obviously the coolest thing about this is that I have a mixed Era 1 train of different types of wagon. So this is going to be fun. So let's get them going. It would help if I had the direction set up the right way. So that's the rostrum set off. And don't scratch that. Gently does it. Get the retropod going at a nice non-jerky speed, hopefully. There we go. That actually, to me, looks brilliant, and the lack of smooth running from the retropod should be a good test for those Sam's Trains Era 1 couplings. So let's get some footage of those running and see how they do. Well, it looks like some of the barrels have come off and derailed the rest of the train. Oh dear. Right, I may need to rethink about how I have the barrels sat on this. Oh no. Well, the retropod's actually off the rails. Wagons. Now it's probably worth mentioning that I have now blue tacked the barrels down so they don't fall off and cause any more derailments. And during the crash, I don't think any of the couplings really had any issue, it all stayed relatively coupled together. Any thoughts for put on the Sam's Train 01 wagons? No? Okay. Right, well, I suppose I'm going to stop the train when it gets around here and give you my conclusion. So just wait until it reaches the behind the cliff area. So just stop that there. And just stop that one. Right. So time to sum up, I suppose. Yes, that was the latest Sam's Trains members exclusive wagon releases of his Era 1 wagons, the Livestock Wagon and the Flatbed with printed barrels. What can I say about them? Well, the cattle wagon has lovely riveted detail on the iron bars or whatever, and it's the right height for putting any kind of livestock in this scale. The horses are going to be too short, hopefully, to be able to jump out of it. And the cows will be below the height at the top as well, and you can fit a good bunch of sheep in. Obviously, my sheep are all knocked over because they're not fixed down because they're not going to be staying in it. But yeah, it's a really nice wagon. There's a slight bit of give to these thin 3D printed railings, but you know, it's not necessarily a serious model. It's a bit of fun, and I think that one is a really nice wagon. The barrel wagon. The barrels are almost the best part of this wagon because they are so well printed compared to the Pico ones that I have. The wagon itself, it's nice to have something that you can actually do more with because the Hornby one's very long. It almost seems too large for what it should be. So, I mean, like, I don't know where I've put my blue coach, but it's about that much longer and feels bigger, chunkier, like it shouldn't be. That's the chassis that they use on the Hornby one. This looks brilliant, really. The revised coupling design, when I first tried to couple with it, because I was trying to couple the slightly older one, I felt like I was having a bit of trouble, but actually when running them, I find it so much easier now to just drop the coupling on and it stays. And it's so much better than the Hornby one. And of course, you have the option to take these out and fit tension locks if you just want to use tension locks as well. So that's brilliant as well. The standardized design has been good for the chassis. The wheels all match between the things. You've got lovely riveted detail, there's planking detail. So for something that's essentially just, you know, a perk, a toy, I always feel that these things remind me so much of the play value that you get from Trine, where it's less detail, but it's fun. These are fun, and I'm going to have fun when I actually get round to painting them up and detailing them and making them look even better. As a starting point, though, even without having done anything to them, they're just great. And when I see that little train I've got of my Era 1 wagons and things going round, and behind the retro pub, I just thought to myself, that's a fantastic little concept of just, I mean, the slight variation in rolling stock, but with a more realistic wheelbase has just made it look so much better than the Hornby offering, and so much cheaper as well, and available as individual items. Obviously, you have to be a member of Sam's Trains if you want to get a hold of these as a members exclusive, which they're out every month. I think they're probably quite popular. There's definitely an emerging market for Era 1 out there. We've seen Hornby's got its new Locomotion #1 coming out. I've seen videos of that at that show that was on the new one, the Key Model World one, with the rods going up and down. Everything looked amazing. So if Sam produces more of these wagons, I think it'll be very good because they're just great. Obviously, the detail is not going to be your Rapido, your Acura scale. This was something designed at home, made at home, and made available to members of the public. So it's a fantastic piece of modelling, really. I really enjoy these. And so thank you very much to Sam for making these and making them available for people to buy. And I hope to buy some more in future when funds allow. So I've got now 6 wagons, and hopefully they'll all look slightly different. Like I said, these are blue tacked on now, but they'll look better when they're on something just to hold them down. I mean, I could just glue them down, but you know, I still want to be able to change things up a bit. The livestock wagons, I don't know. I'll probably glue something into them, but probably not those sheep because I need them for something else. And like I said, I'll hopefully hand over to Alex at the desk at some point. He'll paint these up in a future video and make them look even better. But yeah, as reviews go, Obviously, it's always hard to do something when it's not something that's just like a Hornby thing that everyone can buy off the shelf. But generally, I think Sam's done a brilliant job with these, and I'm really happy with them. And I'm going to put them back in their train afterwards and run them a bit more after this because they're just fun. Like, and that model railway should be fun. You should enjoy it, and you should buy what you like and just go, yeah, that is great. I mean, who knows? Maybe one day I'll run these behind a class 47. Why not? So I guess that's my conclusion. Thank you very much for watching the Beaglington review, and we hope to be back at some point with another review. I don't know when, because I've got pre-orders and I don't know if I'll have to cancel them, but we'll see. So for now, all I can say is thank you very much for watching again. Goodbye from Smugpuss and me, and we hope we'll see you again for another review soon. Don't forget you can like, comment, subscribe, and share to your friends. And if you become a Sam Strange member, you may get access to wagons like this each month. I mean, I'm just trying to think what else I can say. I'm off to have more fun with these wagons. So join us again soon, and we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye. Oh, and don't forget, there's also the subscribe bubble and the playlist thing. Subscribe bubble, playlist thing. Let's get wagons with that written on. It'd be funny. Ta-ra.